Hi, intuitive viewers, welcome and thank you for coming to the channel today. I have a treat for you. Actually, it's a treat for me, but you can also participate in this treat. Today, I have clairvoyant psychic medium Milou with me today. A man who does not need a second name, just like Cher or Madonna or Prince. It's Milou. And the channel is that same name. So welcome, Milou, to the channel.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for such a nice introduction. I've never thought about it that way, but I'll take it.
It's true. You're in good company, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So let me start with this. When you start your broadcast, every time you say, I was born clairvoyant, I'm a psychic medium, right?
Right.
So that right away, that tells me two things about you, and you tell me if I'm right, okay?
Sure.
The first is that you like to give credit to a higher power for your gifts. Okay. And the second thing is that it's hereditary. It comes from your family. Is that true?
Yes, my mom has it. She's 95 now, years old. God bless her. And
Oh my
my
gosh.
grandfather, her father, had it as well. So yes, it's in the family.
Okay, so that's so interesting, because I always think that when you start your channel that way, I thought right there you're giving credit to other people for your gift, really.
Yes.
You're not taking full credit for it. So that is always interesting.
No, can't. I wish I could, but I can't.
Yeah.
My mom would have a talk with me, you know.
Well, and at 95, she must be tough.
Oh, yeah.
So I marvel watching your channel because you have such a natural gift. It has such a natural flow for you. You can tell it has been with you your whole life. I do want to start, though, with the beginning of your story, which starts in another country. So where were you born? Tell people where you were born.
Okay. My father was in the military before I was born. I was born in Haiti. I'm not quite sure if that's what you are asking for, but my father took political asylum before I was born to the Dominican Republic. After I was born, he came back to Haiti. He stayed in a place they call Cap Haitian. When he got married, when he married my mom became pregnant, and she was flown to Port-au-Prince to have me and flown back to Cap Haitian. So I was born in Port-au-Prince in that sense. And around 16 or so, like my father rejoined the military. And after that, he got himself in trouble again. He had to come to this country to escape. And that's how he brought me over, because I was reaching a certain age. I reached a certain age around 16, like right now, what's going on there, you never know. You can leave home and never come back. So that's why he made sure I came here as soon as he possibly could get me here.
And so how old were you then when you came to the United States?
I was somewhere around 16. Yeah.
So that's a hard age. I mean, 16 is a hard age anyway, right? Yes. So how did you navigate that shift, that change? It must have been a huge change.
Terribly. I wasn't very good at it. But you know, I have to call myself lucky in some ways. I had a girlfriend. You know, once you have a girlfriend, that's it. I couldn't speak English, so I had to do the best I could at the time to learn to speak English. And I went to high school, finished high school, and I was a dishwasher at the time. So, and here we are. But it was tough. It was very challenging. We were broke. My father there are 9 of us. So,
wow.
You know, it's a challenge. It was challenging, very tough. In fact, I was talking to one of my brothers about it yesterday, whether you were in this country at the time, because he was still in Haiti, he was still very young. We were talking about it yesterday. It was tough either way. So yeah, not
Right.
terribly well, but we made it.
You made it.
Yes.
Thank goodness you made it. So how did during that time, did your gifts help you during that time? How did they help you?
Oh, not at all.
Okay.
Because you see, once you realize not everyone shares the gift, you suppress it, you hide it, you don't want people to know that you have, and my mom has it as well. I did not like the way some people treated my mom.
Oh.
So I went to high school, and in those days, even if I wanted to, well, it helped me in a sense that if something was going to go wrong, I would know, but my mom didn't need my help. So except using it for myself, my own little thing. And at the time, you're 16, 17, 18. It wasn't until I was in college I started coming out with it. I let some of my friends know because, on Saturdays we used to go party. And one evening on the Hutchinson Parkway near White Plains, I believe it was exit 16. I still remember, but I don't remember I'm not sure of the number. From 287 and to the Hutch, we were going to be stopped. So there were about 3 cars. We're all friends from college. And I said, be careful because we're going to get stopped. So I hung back and they didn't listen to me. Oh, yeah. And after that, whenever I said something, they listened. So this is one time, and that was in college, and people started looking at me funny, and then little by little you come out, but it didn't. No one knew at the time until I prove it, and I still do the same today. Well, go ahead. I don't want to take over. I think
no, it's fascinating, and I think that people will be very interested in this because. I think because you are so natural with your gift, people just assume that you just always accepted it and you're always fine with it. And that's the way it was. So I think it's interesting for people to know that even though you were born with it, you still had to kind of grow into it.
Yeah, most people, well, I can only speak for myself, but I've heard other people's stories.
Right.
It's not something you accept because you're a kid. You don't know. And once you realize people are looking at you a little differently, well, my first experience with it, I did not like to go to school very much. I wanted to design stuff because I grew up in Haiti. I started, I was in Haiti, okay?
Right.
And I did not like the schools very much. They were not steering me in the direction that I wanted to go. I always wanted to be an engineer because I watched my dad. He used to own an electrical store and work for the military. He used to do all the electrical stuff for them. So I always wanted to be an engineer, but I did not know what it was. So in order for me to be able to play with my toys or design things, I thought I was a designer at the time. I would tell the kids when the teacher was not coming to school. And after a while, they would look at me like, how do you do this? So, you're a kid, you don't know better. So once people start looking at you, with a crooked eye, nothing bad, and you shut it down, you don't do it anymore. So you basically keep it to yourself. That's how I learned to shut up about it.
Shut up about it. So when you decided, okay, I'm going to accept what I am, who I am, with my gifts.
Right.
What age was that about? What kind of triggered that? What made you kind of just accept it and think, okay, this is who I am?
Oh my God. I think I was in my late 20s. After I graduated from college, a friend of my family, his name is Gentil, he passed a number of years ago. He saw my diplomas. He says, oh, nice diplomas, but you're going to be doing readings for people. I looked at him, I'm like, That's never going to happen. He says, well, remember I told you. And, we became friends. He was a very nice guy, very, very nice guy. One of the best psychics I've ever known, by the way, besides my mom. So I was still trying not to do it, but in the corporate world, I did not have the best of luck. Okay. In fact, I probably got in my entire career, got promoted once. Okay. It's because I wasn't supposed to be there.
Right.
And one night I had a dream. I mean, I was getting very frustrated because everyone was advancing. They were not any better than I, okay, as far as technology and what we were doing. But no one ever groomed me. They would groom my coworkers. I was always ignored.
Right.
And one night I had a dream. My mother sometimes can read, or most of the time she reads using a candle. And I had a dream. My mom was sitting in front of me. She was holding a candle. And she says, you're going to have to read for people. And, and I woke up, I'm like, oh my God. But by that time, I was already getting frustrated. So
Right.
I thought I was smart. So I think the thing to do is maybe if I do it part-time, you know, I can fool God. No, I didn't say I can fool God, but now it's on my mind. Like I was trying
Yeah.
to fool God. You know what I mean? I said,
Right.
maybe, let's do that. So I started helping friends in my area where I used to live at. I used to live in New Rochelle at the time, in New Rochelle, New York. And I would do it for my close friends. And like I said, try to help people. And then little by little, people would know. And then I got lucky. AOL, I came online and I started doing it part-time at night. You remember the chat rooms they used to have on AOL?
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I used to work for a company, Stars something. I don't remember exactly. Stars. I believe they're still around.
Uh-huh.
The owner gave me a test and she was barefoot. In fact, I still remember I was driving on Route 17 in New Jersey, Bergen County, and I was talking to her. I had a cell phone at the time. Yeah, I still remember where I was. And I said, are you barefoot? She almost dropped the phone, fell off the chair, and she says, okay, you get the job. So I started working for her company. In fact, someone saw me reading in a chat room. She says, do you know you can make money doing this? I'm like, yeah, I know. My mom's a psychic to her. It doesn't matter. And something happened. And she says, well, if you ever need to a job, let me know. So she referred me to that lady who owns the company. And that's how I started doing psychic readings online over the phone and expanded
Right.
to today. So yeah, I used to do it on chat rooms. In fact, there are some people who knew me from then,
Oh,
late
really?
90s. In
Oh my
fact,
gosh.
there's a gentleman, he lives in Australia now.
Mm-hmm.
He's married. I believe he has 2 or 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, he felt betrayed by everything. And he
Mm-hmm.
would come to my chat room and bug me because, he said, would I ever meet somebody? So I described his wife, his mother-in-law. I don't remember. He told me, I don't remember what I said. He told me a couple of years ago what I said.
Mm-hmm.
He's still in contact with me because he drove from upstate New York all the way to New York City to meet me with his wife, his 2 kids, and his mother-in-law. He's
Oh
still in
my
contact
gosh.
with me. He moved to Australia a couple of years ago. He's still.
Oh my
So yeah,
gosh.
that's how things started. I became unhappy in the corporate world. I was
Mm-hmm.
forced to take early retirement because I was still thinking I could outsmart God, not wanting to do what I was supposed to do.
Right.
And after they forced me to take early retirement, then here I am.
And here you are. And I love
Yep.
on your website. I love how it says clairvoyant, psychic medium, astrologer, and techie.
You know, astrology, yeah, well, thank you. You know, that's my favorite thing. I mean, I love doing readings. Don't get me wrong. There's no way
Right.
at this point, even before, if things were like they were today when I was in my 20s, I think I would do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in those days, it would be very difficult
Right.
to get clients. And oh my God, I was poor then. I would be really poor if I was waiting to get a reading, because how do you get clients? And I learned that the hard way. Although after I was forced to take early retirement, I belonged to the Edgar Casey Center. I'm sure you know of Edgar Casey.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was a member and a practitioner at their center in New York City on 30th Street, West 30th Street, right across from the Madison Square Garden. It was tough then to get clients. I did everything I could. You know what I mean? It was tough.
Yeah.
So if you're a psychic, believe me, YouTube is a blessing. And well, I should say, put it this way, social media is a blessing.
Yeah.
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 Okay, because it's very difficult. Yes, go ahead.
So
Sorry.
I wanted to bring you forward to your channel.
Okay.
So let me ask you this. You kind of, you still read mostly politics. It seems like that's what you really enjoy and like is politics.
Not really.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I enjoy politics because my
Right.
dad was a politician.
Right.
And you know what? That's what most people gravitate to. Because you have to remember, I've been on YouTube I think I'm probably going on my 4th year now.
Okay.
And I started doing reading like I do on Monday evenings. Anyone who comes, they ask me for. I thought people would love it.
Right.
People didn't like it. And I did not like when Trump said people from the third world countries are asshole countries.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Okay, I'm gonna teach you a lesson. And I started reading about politics. In fact, this morning I was thinking, I'm like, I'm gonna change, because you're right. That's what most people follow because of Trump the past few years. That was a quick way for me to become, at least to get some subscribers. But now I know I have to change, and I'm in the process of doing that.
Right. Well, and that's what I wanted to ask you about, was when Trump came into being, when he came into politics, did that trigger you about Haiti? Did that bring you back to some of the things that happened there with Papa Doc and all of that stuff? Did it make you feel kind of like, I need to tell people what could happen? I need to warn people. I need to let people know. Did it go back to that?
That's why I still try to, well, the best way I can to let people know he's dangerous.
Right.
And the Republican Party is dangerous as well.
Right.
But Americans have no idea what this is all about.
Right.
Okay. And that's why I post links to, videos of Papa Doc. In fact, I did it last week or a couple of weeks ago. To give, I mean, people on my channel, I'm sure on your channel is the same. They already are not terribly fan of Trump.
Right.
But just in case there are other people, I'm sure there are, because they started hassling me when I first started on YouTube. I just, ignored them, and somehow they left me alone. But for them to know what they are doing can get them into major trouble. And if you think, you were Trump, whatever it is, like Lindsay Graham, and if Trump were to survive and become president or remain president, if you think he's going to be your friend, and you're going to be in power all the time. That doesn't happen. Those guys don't behave that way. They'll kill you and your family. And you know what?
Right.
They won't even blink.
Right.
So that's why I felt those two reasons, because it's, let me tell you, I'm going to tell you I knew it was bad in Haiti, but my math teacher, okay, he had a young brother about my age at the time, okay? The nicest guy you could ever meet. One morning, my father dropped me off. It was summer, for summer school, not summer school, but, tutor. He was my math tutor. There were about 17 of us in the class, okay? Everything was going great. And one morning after my father dropped me off, I walked into, there is a hallway. You got to walk into the room where we would all gather, okay?
Right.
His family was crying. You know what the news was? They came to pick him up, to kill him. They didn't find him. They took his younger brother.
Oh,
Till this day,
no.
no one knows what happened to him. So, and people like Trump, if I don't feel Republicans have made the connection, or a lot of Americans have made the connections. 500,000 plus people died on Trump's watch. This guy hasn't blanked.
That's right.
Okay. So intuitively, I feel he's just like Papa Doc.
Right.
And his acts, I mean, those kids that he imprisoned at the border, if you can do that to kids and you have 4 of your own, never mind those we don't know about.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is not good.
Right.
Okay. So that's why I felt very motivated, and I feel he's dangerous. I have a small platform, but I do the best I can.
Right.
People have to know. But you know what? Republicans haven't gotten it, but they will.
They will. Well, what is it, intuitively, what is it, do you think, that has people believing that they are the exception to the rule? Because that is always how dictators or, oligarchs work, is they start getting rid of people in the inner circle because they become paranoid. They want to make sure they are in power. So whoever they think is, it doesn't matter if it's your brother, it doesn't matter. Why do they think, what is that makes them think they are the exception? Is it just ego, arrogance? What is that?
Ego, arrogance, and something? They don't want anyone to make them feel they owe them anything. That's the major motivating factor. If you help them and you do something they weren't aware of, they will get rid of you very quickly. Yeah. And the other thing that's dangerous with dictatorships, in Haiti, I remember there was a time, because a lot of those people that Duvalier had in key positions, or they used to call his makuts, but it's just like the brown shirts, okay? If you had a catechism book in your hand, if the letter C shows, and at that time, anti-communism was a big deal. Because of the C, they can't read, they don't know. You could get killed over that. So this is how, cheap one's life is under dictatorship.
Right.
And that's what I see in Trump, and people like myself, we see in Trump throughout the whole 4 years he was in power. Yeah.
And so that it almost was like a duty to warn. You felt like you had a duty to warn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. I never thought about it that way, but you're right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So now when you get your information, Milou, because it's fun, it's fun as a viewer to watch you, because you'll start talking and then you'll kind of look around. What is happening when that happens? When you get information, is it a a sound? Is it a vision? How does it come? I know you say you're clairvoyant, but what does it feel like to get that information? Because you'll start talking and then all of a sudden you hear something gets your attention and you say what you're hearing.
Yeah. This follows me in the corporate world too. It's a bad thing, unfortunately, but I hope people who listen to me understand. You can be speaking and all of a sudden you see a picture, like a vision, okay, or something comes to mind, or you just say something without knowing.
Right.
After you said it, should I have said that? So when I do that, it's because I will see the picture and I will understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And as an intuitive yourself, I can't explain it very well, but I'm going to try the best I can. Have you ever gotten something you don't quite sure what it is and you have to look and get the meaning?
All the time.
Okay, well.
that's my life.
Okay, that's exactly what's happening, and it didn't serve me well in the corporate world because they thought I wasn't very bright when I used to do that. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I shocked somebody with that as well, because when I was about to take early retirement and she came to say goodbye and I said, have a seat. And I read for her and I predicted a family member, her aunt, in fact, that was going to have an accident. She looked at me. I mean, some of the stuff I said, she says, how do you do that? I'm like, well, I just know, just tell your aunt to be careful about it. A couple of weeks later, before I even left the company, she called me. She says, my aunt had the accident.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? I didn't tell her, you called me stupid, but I just want you to know. But I said it and not in so many words.
Right.
People think I'm seeing their whole lives unfold in front of me and they think I'm stupid.
Right.
But she knew what I meant. That was my way of letting her know, and others who thought I wasn't very bright, that there is more behind what was going on than they thought. Yeah. Oh, it didn't help me too much.
Well, and that is one thing I try to explain to people when I do a reading, is that it's not like, I think sometimes, not people that probably watch the channels, but I think sometimes people get the idea that it's kind of like, do you know the movie It's a Wonderful Life? Do you know that movie?
Oh yeah, I didn't see it, but I know.
Okay, so in the beginning, they show his whole life, and then they go back and the angel comes in. And I think people think that it's like that, like you see somebody's entire, but it's not like that. You get things out of context and you're not really sure why you're seeing them. You see a car or a this or that, and you say, why am I seeing this? And it's not that you're fishing for information. Exactly. It's that you don't have context for it. So they need to tell you the context because it's their life. You don't know their whole life. You just know that piece, right?
Yep. That's exactly correct. But people, if they don't know, they don't understand.
Right.
They exactly. Take you wrong. Yeah.
That's what I always tell people. So I always start my readings that way. I have no context for the information that's going to come in, but exactly. It's for you to put the context to it, because I have I'm just the telephone. Just the telephone.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So now your channel, your viewers love you. They have you have such a unique relationship with them, because they come right in. Hi Milou, hi Milou, hi Milou. They know what's coming. They're ready for it. You do. So tell people kind of how your channel works, where they can find it, and the different kinds of readings you do, because it's like Monday through something you do certain readings and then mini readings and that kind of thing.
Well, basically I live stream every day.
Right.
And every day at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And on Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mm-hmm. During my 12 o'clock stream, it's only politics, which I'm going to change in the not too distant future. Mm-hmm. In the evenings, that's when I'll do a little politics, but I allow people to ask me questions, whatever it is. So in the evening, that's when I do that. That's my way of giving back to the community for supporting me.
Right. That's so
Yeah.
nice. And that, I think that's why they're so appreciative of you. And so I know that uh my audience would be mad at me if I didn't ask you a couple of questions before you go,
Sure.
about a couple of prediction questions. But
Absolutely.
so what is going on with Lindsay Graham?
Lindsey Graham, it feels like to me he adapts to any situation that he's in. Lindsey Graham is all about Lindsey Graham. And like most Republicans, he does not want he wants to stay in power. Okay. And he will do anything to remain a senator or become president, but I don't see that. I don't feel Lindsey is ever going to get there. So, and I feel Lindsey Graham is playing with fire.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like saying. But it's all about money and power. And right now, I know he reacted emotionally after January 6th, and he turned on Trump for a couple of seconds until he was accosted
I think it
at
was
the
literally
airport.
2 seconds.
Yeah, you know, but he came back into the fold. But Lindsay is all about Lindsay. Lindsay doesn't have a moral, I don't feel he believes in anything.
Yeah.
Okay. So whatever it takes for him to remain in power is what he's going to do.
Right.
It's as simple as that. But I feel he's making a big mistake. I
Yeah.
feel he's going to have issues.
He's dancing with the devil.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I also wanted to ask you about something. I got a message from, because I'll get messages from my guides and then I just share them what the messages are. One of the messages I got a while ago, this was before Trump was out, and I kept telling people he's going to be gone. We're going to get the House. We're going to get the Senate. It's going to be good. Don't worry about it. Be a struggle, but we'll do it.
Oh yeah.
But I got a message from my guides telling me that we needed to start letting Trump go, that people were becoming kind of addicted to him,
Right.
addicted to the news about him, addicted to hearing about him. And it was a two-way street. He
Yes.
kind of made people addicted to him, right? So I started to get this message. Do you think that's true? Do you think we need to like demanifest him, kind of let him go so that he can just
I agree
leave?
with you. Yes, some of us have become addicted, but I'm going to give you an example of how I feel about this now.
Yeah.
I could not watch him before while he was president. But now if there's a clip of him somewhere, I watch. You know why?
Right.
First of all, I can see how he's feeling and how things are going for him.
Right.
And I'm watching for his demise.
Right.
I feel a lot of people, that's why they watch Trump now. They are waiting for his demise. Mm-hmm. But, a lot of us are, because we are addicted, it's drama,
Yeah.
But for me, it's two simple reasons. I am waiting for when it's announced that he's been indicted. And we know what's going to happen after that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And intuitively, I can look at him in the eye and see what's going on. I'm not that I need, but I don't know why, but it's a little better when I see him.
Right.
So I enjoy it.
Do you think he will go to jail?
Yes. Unless something major happens.
Right.
And I don't feel he's the only one who will end up in jail. I know a lot of legal experts as saying it's not the case. But you know what's
Mhm.
going to happen? There is already the belief in our country that rich people or white collar crimes, people don't, nothing happens to you. That's
Right.
not really true, because I'm thinking of Madoff right now.
Right. Bernie Madoff. Yeah.
The same level of outcry
Hmm.
when Trump is convicted of
Right.
everything he's done, because what we know right now is not even, the tip of the iceberg as far as what
Right.
he has done. And his link with Putin has not thoroughly been investigated, or at least we don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. When a couple of years ago, I got a visit from Trump's dad, Trump Sr.,
Mm-hmm.
and he told me that he put it in a very interesting way. I thought he said that Donald Trump, his son, is supposed to go to jail. So that told me that
Really?
he should go to jail, but we have free will. So they may or may not decide to put him in jail, but he's told me that he is supposed to go to jail. But I thought that was an interesting way to put it.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said,
Yeah.
unless, I was going to say unless somebody steps in, but this guy has created so many ill will towards him and
Yeah.
his family. I don't think it has caught up with him. I don't feel too many people are going to step up to help him. And even
Right.
people he thinks are his friends now are not going to jump in and help him. So he would have
Right.
to be very lucky.
Yeah.
Even if he
Yeah.
spends a couple of nights in jail, I'm not sure, but I saw him once standing in court, basically apologizing and hoping the worst doesn't happen.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm seeing him wearing white shirt, dark pants. He doesn't have a tie on, and a jacket. So we'll see.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Milou, lastly, can you tell people about your merchandise? Because you have merchandise.
Yes, I have it's from Teespring. In
Uh-huh.
fact, I have to do some work on it. I have to adjust the prices, but I have to talk to figure out how, I mean, I technically I know how to do it, but I have to talk to them. And you
Mhm.
know what? I've been so busy trying to work and do other things, I haven't done it. But yes, I do have the usual, well, whatever they have on Teespring is what I have on my rack, if you will.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I
Well,
like it. I
good.
have a couple of them. I have to start wearing. There's one I wear every once in a while. I had a few more, but my brothers and sisters took them.
Oh,
So
of course they did.
yeah.
Well, good. Well, thank you so much, Milou. This has been such a pleasure. I really appreciate you coming on and talking to us about your gifts and for sharing your gifts too. Thank you so much for doing
You're
that.
very welcome. It was a pleasure.
It
It
was
was
a
nice being
pleasure.
with you.
Nice to be with you too. Okay,
Take
Intuitive
care.
viewers, we will see you later.